All right, there it is. The trophy has been presented. Mike Vaught doing the honors for AdvoCare. And Kevin Harvick takes home his second AdvoCare trophy from Phoenix International Raceway. And with that being said, the celebration will continue here in Gatorade Victory Lane. We'll send it back upstairs to Dean Straub.
Here are your clinch scenarios for Jimmie Johnson. He needs to finish 23rd or better, 24th or better if he leads one lap, 25th or better if he leads the most laps.
All right, we'll get started with our post-race media availability here at Phoenix International Raceway following the AdvoCare 500. We welcome Kasey Kahne, driver of the number 5 Farmers Insurance Chevrolet, who finished second in today's race here at Phoenix. Pretty exciting race out there. Talk a little bit about your finish here today.
Yeah, I felt pretty good. Had a lot better car, a lot more grip today than what I had yesterday in practice, and so I think the guys, Kenny and Keith, and they came up with some good stuff for today. And we were close, with our Farmers Insurance car, and we were on a little bit longer strategy. We stayed out longer, so the tires, our tires were. Harvick was on a lot fresher tires, I guess. He was able to stay out longer and came out there at the end and was pretty quick on that restart. Got by us. So I couldn't hang with him, but I thought we definitely had a solid, second, third place car. Carl short pitted. That's how he got so far out front. But it was interesting. The strategy is plays such a big factor here. You have half the field doing one thing and half the field doing the other, and then everybody's pitting 5-6 laps difference on those strategies as well. So it's kind of a crazy race, but worked out pretty good, and I thought the track got a little bit better as it went. We just keep hoping we can get a little bit softer tires so we can move around a little more.
Okay, we'll open up for questions for Kasey. Please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. We'll start right here up front.
Thank you. Kasey Kahne, Popular Speed. It's definitely been an up and down season for you, but over the past couple of races, you've had a couple solid top fives. Over the course of the season, has there been any point where you begin to wonder, if things were going to get better? Like, did you lose any confidence during that?
Yeah, I think you lose a little confidence. I get down once in a while and feel pretty bad about what's going on. And I thought, we've had a lot of things happen to us this year, but we battled back the last 2 weeks. We ran pretty good, 5th and 2nd, and so I'm happy about that. We'll try to finish off strong at Homestead with another top 5, and maybe prepare a little better for next year, and just try to have a more consistent, stronger year from start to finish. Thanks.
Joining Kasey, Jimmie Johnson, driver of the number 48 Lowe's Cobalt Tools Chevrolet, who finished third in today's AdvoCare 500. Currently our points leader heading into the season finale next weekend in Homestead. Jimmie, talk a little bit about your battle out there today and setting up the stage for the season finale next week.
The race was challenging. I mean, everybody says it's a short event here, but man, it seemed like it took 600 miles worth of time to get through this race. We had a very strong race car, so that made life a lot easier, especially comparing this effort to last year's effort in the chase. And we did what we should have. I felt like yesterday we had a race-winning car, and today seemed to be like a second to third place car. So I hate that we missed it a little bit there, but still, all in all, a very, very strong performance for us. And we're heading to Homestead in the position we want to be in. So we'll have to go down there and run 400 miles. It's far from over. You've got to finish that race, and although we have a nice cushion, we still have to go down there and take care of business.
Okay, we'll take our next question here in the middle from Lewis, and then go back to the middle from Kenny.
All right, Lewis Frank of Speed Week. Jimmie, yeah. Lewis Frank Speed Week. Sorry to interrupt. At any time in those 2 incidents today, for the tiniest fraction of a second, did you think this is it, or were you too busy driving, correcting?
The one with the 22 didn't worry me too much. I felt like I had enough room, and the way the car was sliding to save it. But the one with the 99, I thought 2 different points as I saved it, the car pointed back at the fence, and I thought I was going to hit it. So thankful that that didn't happen. Clearly, certainly worried me, and then we were mired in traffic after that, and I didn't know what that was going to mean for us. And we were in a nice position strategy-wise, but there was a caution, and they missed some oil off of turn 4, and that drug on the laps under caution and put everybody into the same fuel strategy. So I was starting to get worried at that point in time, but it seemed shortly thereafter we left pit road and the 20 was behind me again. They came down pit road, and then I felt like I knew where I was. I knew how I could manage things, and it was about trying to get points then. And we found our way all up to third.
Okay, we'll take our next question in the middle from Kenny, then go back to Tom and come up front to Michael.
Kenny Bruce from NASCAR.com. Jimmy, mentioning those earlier incidents, and then we saw Matt. I mean, he struggled with his car all day. Then they had issues on pit road. Does a race like today just stress how on your game you have to be in these races? That everybody talked about. You had such a dominating run last week, and it's not going to be much of a chase. Does it just kind of say, look, these things aren't over, that anything can happen?
Yeah, I mean, everybody is so eager to predict the champion, but you've got to play the game, you've got to run the race, and stuff happens. There's so many variables in one of our races. I think more variables than any pro sport out there. We have all 43 teams playing, driving, racing, all the mechanical components on the race car, pit stops, other issues on other cars that could take you out, tires. There's a lot of variables, so we don't take any of these weekends lightly. Even with a nice points lead, I'm not going to take next weekend any differently. There's still a lot of pressure to get the job done, and it's no layup at all. So, but I sympathize with Matt. We were in that position last year, and we went to Homestead and still had a shot and put a lot of pressure on the two, and then we made mistakes again that took us out of it last year.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Tom in the back.
Hi, Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. Jimmy, you've been through these wars.
Anybody have anything else for Kasey?
Thanks, Jimmy. Appreciate it.
See you, buddy.
You've been through these wars, 7, 8, 10 times now in these chases. Were you surprised at how poorly the 20 ran all day? Because they just weren't there all day. Were you surprised by that?
Yes, surprised, and then at the same time, I went through it last year, so I don't know how to quite describe it, but it can happen. I thought that yesterday in the final practice session they made a nice run, and I thought that they got themselves in the where they needed to be, but clearly today that wasn't the case. When the 11 was leading early, I thought that might mean good things for the 20. And I never really saw the 18, and that was another marker to me that the 20 was not having the best of days, and both of his teammates were running, slipping back.
Take our next question up front from Michael, right behind you.
Hi, Jimmy. Michael Knight from the Arizona Republic. Back in the garage area, Carl said that the last thing he wanted was to be in a position like that might have affected the championship. Do you accept that, just in the context of the overall racing environment? Or just at that moment, what were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, without a doubt. I know Carl very well, and I have a ton of respect for him and what he does on the racetrack. And the contact we had was unfortunate. It was really not 3 lanes down there. And I was coming around the outside of him, and I guess 29 had a run on the inside. And once we all went to the brakes, we were all committed to 3 wide in there. And little contact and all that stuff. So at the time I was frustrated, happy I didn't crash, and was hopeful that didn't lose all that track position and really affect our performance. So there was some frustration initially, but deep down inside I knew it wasn't an intentional situation. It was just a racing deal that didn't go our way.
Do we have any questions from the press box?
Yes, Nate Ryan, USA Today Sports. Jimmy, not to bring up bad memories, but your last 2 finishes at Homestead were 32nd and 36th. I know that was somewhat circumstantial, but how do you, given that and knowing you only need a 23rd or better, how do you approach next week at Homestead? Are you going there to win, or is it just more top 15, or what are you looking at?
Well, we're going to go down there and race as hard as we can. I think the safest place on the racetrack is up front. And if I look back to our Texas performance, we found a way to race smart, stay out of trouble, and still get the race won. So I would love to win the race and win the championship, but we'll just have to see how things develop in the race and where we are relative to the 20. The big prize at the end of the day is what we're focused on. It's not so much that individual win, but we need to go down there and be prepared and treat Friday and Saturday like we need to win the race so that we can make the cars comfortable and as fast as possible to give us all our options on Sunday.
Any additional questions? Okay. Any additional questions down here in the media center? Okay, we'll take one up front right here.
Hi, I'm Gabe Carmichael from Motor Racing. What about Kevin Harvick? He's closed up on the points too.
Yeah, he's done a good job winning some races. I think yes, he's in third right now. If we have a hiccup, or some type of mistake in Homestead, it'll be a race between the 20 and the 29. But I feel like if we go down there and run as we should be able to take care of business.
Jimmie, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. We look forward to seeing you next week in Homestead.